Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I'm Joseph Paul, and I just moved down to Honduras on December 29th. It feels surreal to say, but now I'm a missionary in southern Honduras. I plan on keeping in touch through various means, including a regular video newsletter. For this first video newsletter, I'd like to read something of a theme verse for me in this endeavor. John 13:35 says, "By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you love one another." This month, I'd like to let you know about what's going on and what my plans are here in Honduras. I am working in Valle, Honduras, as an assistant and apprentice to Brother Claudius Garcia. This past summer, I had the opportunity to work with him for almost 2 months and was able to preach and teach classes at a couple of the churches. I also accompanied him in visiting members of the church and other duties, as well as one Saturday for baptisms with the congregation in Nacaome. In talking with Brother Claudius, I anticipate continuing in what I did this past summer, as well as some secretarial and computer work with which he may need help. We also talked about me starting a program with the youth, especially in Ondable, which is a very poor and rural community. Overall, I plan to help him in whatever he most needs, and my responsibilities may change over time depending on the needs of the church. I'm very excited to help him and possibly grow the ministry as well as learn from a very wise man. As we are getting started, I'd like to introduce you to Brother Claudius Garcia, with whom I'll be working. Brother Claudius Garcia is originally from a town near the border with El Salvador and grew up in a large family. He went to Baxter University and eventually settled down in San Lorenzo. He has worked at many congregations throughout Honduras and with different congregations from the United States. He is currently supported by Misión Lázaro and working in 3 different congregations. He lives with his daughter Melissa, and his son, Fernando, is a missionary in El Salvador. As part of my regular newsletter, I would like to share with you guys something that God's been teaching me lately as a kind of devotional thought. For this first one, I just want to share the process that has led me to become a missionary. I grew up in the church, serving regularly with my family. It was instilled in me at a young age that everyone is to be a missionary wherever they are. We should always be mindful that we are God's kingdom, a kingdom of priests, and we represent God and Christ to the world every day. With this in mind, I've wanted to move down to Honduras since at least 2011. I originally went to Harding University planning to study middle school math and science while minoring in Spanish with the intention of being a bivocational missionary while working a secular job during the week. Thanks to meeting Ava Conley, the head of the foreign language department, at church the Sunday before the start of classes, I eventually changed my major to Spanish and later pursued a master's in Spanish literature from Middlebury Language Schools. My new goal was the same as my old goal, but now I wanted to teach college literature while working with a church. With this new plan, I went to Honduras this past summer for almost 2 months with the plan of finding a job. When I got down here, I moved in as my sister's neighbor, renting the house next to hers, and got to work helping Brother Claudius and accompanying him and his daughter in their work with the church. I spent time sending out my resume and contacting different universities, but I accidentally worked as a missionary for 2 months. Through a series of events, God kept nudging me more and more towards the idea of full-time mission work without the distractions of a secular job during the week. And to do this, working with the same preacher I worked with during the summer. Although I didn't find the job I was looking for, I did find a job in my calling. Since making the decision to come down as a full-time missionary, God has repeatedly confirmed that this is indeed His plan, in addition to confirmations by Satan's attacks and attempts to discourage me from pursuing this path. I'm very excited for this next step in my life and for all the ways in which I'll be able to bring you along with me, keeping you up to date and showing you all the things God is doing in my life and in the lives of the people here. Now, as for prayer requests, I would like to start with some prayers of thanksgiving. First and foremost, I'm thankful for my calling and that God, Jehovah Jireh, is providing everything I need as I move forward. Along those lines, I'm thankful that I'm here. I got my renewed passport back in less than 2 weeks. And beyond that, so many have supported me on GoFundMe and even said that they'll be supporting me monthly. Finally, I'm thankful for your prayers and emotional and spiritual support as I embark on this journey with the Lord. You have greatly blessed me and continue to bless me every day. Other prayer requests that I would like to mention are regarding some members of the churches in Honduras. First, Fernando Garcia, Brother Claudius' son, is a missionary in El Salvador and has been home to visit for the holidays, but will be traveling back later this week, so prayers for safe travels. Also, Sister Rosa, a member of the congregation in San Lorenzo. She is sick and wheelchair-bound, while 2 of her children are in the United States in prison. One even left a little girl in Honduras without her father. I would also like to request prayers for myself in the following areas. I still have a lot of need of fundraising. Also prayers that I can be God's love, light, and image and be a blessing for those I'm going to serve. And finally, prayers as I work on getting settled in, that everything works out well and smoothly so I can focus on my work with the church. Now, for anyone who wants to keep up to date with what I'm doing here in Honduras, you can, of course, subscribe here and hit that bell icon if you want to get a notification when I post my next video newsletter. You can also find links in the description for my Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter, and a link to sign up for emails. If you're interested in supporting me financially, there are links to Patreon and GoFundMe as well. Thank you again for your support and prayers. God bless you and keep you. May you feel His presence and His love. May God work in your life, and may you grow in your relationship with Him.